Welcome to Blink Education, and today I'm going to be talking about screen addiction stigma and its impact on school life. So, screen addiction. What is screen addiction? A screen addiction is when someone is compelled to constantly be looking at a screen or using a screen. It could be an iPad, a phone, a TV, any type of digital device that takes their attention away from anything else and gets them to focus on that digital device. So, this is something that happens a lot in schools. Kids are very addicted to these gaming devices or even texting, video calling friends, a lot of social media. So this is very pronounced, especially in elementary schools, as that is the developmental age where they get addicted very easily to these overstimulating items. So this is a type of stigma in the classroom that affects both academic performance and social interactions. So a lot of times you'll hear teachers saying that they don't know how to interact with peers because they're always on a device. So they don't know how to apply those skills into real world settings. And also regarding their academic performance, then you will see a lot of teachers you'll hear them making comments about how they're not performing well academically because they're not able to concentrate, because their concentration is so short-handed because they are now used to the constant stimulation from these electronic devices that now their academic performance is declining. So is this just a stigma or is it reality? So let's look at the actual effects of screen addiction stigma. So a lot of times when someone is using devices, they will be called lazy or they'll be called disengaged, either by teachers or by peers. Now, this can be very detrimental to the student, to the child, because it makes them feel very misunderstood, and this can actually make them withdraw themselves more from school because they feel like they don't belong. They feel like they are being outed or judged. Meanwhile, that could be an outlet for their constant behavioral tendencies. For example, a child with ADHD may lean towards iPad because they constantly need that stimulus, and without the iPad constantly stimulating them, they might have behavioral tendencies in the classroom. So it's kind of a lose-lose situation, because if they aren't getting stimulated from the iPad, they seek that stimulus in the real world setting. And then a lot of times when they're seeking that stimulus in the real world setting, guess what happens? They are being judged on their attention-seeking, stimulus-seeking behavior in the real-world setting. So it's kind of a double-edged sword, not for all students, but especially those with special needs that need constant stimulus. And screen addiction stigma can actually make things a lot worse for them. So yes, screen addiction can be a bad thing, but now the stigma on it is also a bad thing. Now let's talk about the academic challenges. So yes, screen addiction can make students have challenges learning because what happens is when they're constantly using the devices and they're constantly used to being able to just switch to a new video, if they're bored, if they're not constantly getting that stimulus and they're getting bored, their attention span is very minimal, then they just swipe to the next thing. And that does impact their academic performance, because at school, you can't just swipe to the next activity. You need to be able to endure the boring parts of school, because we all know, yes, there are absolutely boring parts of school. There are fun parts, but a lot of times it's boring. So this makes it a lot more challenging on teachers, because as a teacher, You now need to be super engaging in every single lesson you're teaching, because since these children are so dependent on constantly getting that dopamine hit, that stimulating rush from all of the technology that they're used to, they have really bad academic challenges, because if they're not getting it, they just won't pay attention. They fall behind. They aren't learning. So yes, there are academic challenges, and I feel that as a teacher, I myself am a teacher, you need to make that adaptation, because that is the reality of today's world, and you need to make your lessons more engaging. Include things that they'd be interested in. Make it more kinesthetic learning, so get them to get up and get moving. Make more games with the lessons. Don't just make it paper and pencil, as I've seen many educators do, because with these new challenges that students have with technology, you can't just do paper and pencil. That's old school teaching. You need to make it more engaging. You need to get them involved. You need to make it more hands-on, because if it's not hands-on, they will lose interest fast. You will be repeating your lessons over and over, or your students will be performing very poorly, and then once you get that review, admin is going to say, well, why are your students performing so poorly? What have you done to encourage them to promote their performance? So this is something that teachers really need to get along with, and they need to make those changes to help your students. Now, let's break down the stigma. So yes, stigma exists. Yes, it's always going to exist, but you need to have an open conversation. You need to have an open environment so that students can actually talk openly about their habits, their screen habits. Because if you constantly put on that negative persona where you're saying, oh, you're on the iPad again. Oh, your parents let you watch a video on the iPad. Guess what's going to happen? They're going to start to get shut down. They're going to close off. They're not going to want to talk to you. So that is not a good thing. You want to make sure that your class is a safe space. So this is something that we preach. A positive environment, a positive teaching environment. You're nurturing children. So you can't nurture children if they feel scared and judged by you. So you need to make an environment where they feel welcome, where they feel like they can share their experiences with you, and you can build on that with them. So you want to make sure that they are open, and okay, yes, there are definitely some screening habits and some screen habits that are not good, but that is why you make this open environment, because now they are more accepting to your suggestions, to your comments. If you're very shut down with them about what they're sharing with you, guess what? They're going to be shut down with you, and they're not going to take anything that you're saying, and you're just going to be speaking to a wall. Now, encouraging healthy habits. This is so important. Don't just dismiss screens. Don't say, oh, they're bad for you. No, you want to make sure that you are encouraging a healthy habit. Screens are unavoidable in this time and age. They are everywhere. You're watching this video right now, and guess what? It's on a screen. So they are everywhere. As teachers, there is a huge push, and you should know this, from the boards, from admin, from everywhere, to incorporate technology into the classroom. Why is that? Because screens are everywhere. So it's unavoidable. Many of us as children, we didn't have this experience because screens weren't everywhere. They were very limited. They were only for, when they first came out, they were only for the super wealthy, and they were very limited and not available to everyone. Now you go to any school, they're everywhere. Kids have their own Chromebooks. They have iPads in the classes. There's always a projector. The screen on the projector is on, and you put your YouTube videos on for kids to follow along for lessons, or a story or a brain break. They're everywhere. So something you need to do is encourage healthy habits. So yes, teach them. Technology can be a great thing. Let them use technology, but instead of saying, oh, it's bad, it's bad, it's bad, you could say, great, you did 30 minutes of technology. Now it's time that we take a break and take them outside to play a game, or get them to do another activity. Or why don't you even just do a role play? So if you're, for example, if you're watching a video on the screen with them, showing them a new concept, now break them up into groups and have them act out the video. If you're doing a novel study, watch the video, watch the movie, and now break them up and do a drama lesson to really get that face-to-face interactions. So you want to get to teach them and to get them to learn that technology isn't one layer. It's not just, it's faceted in a way that you can use it for multiple things. So yes, incorporate technology, but also incorporate face-to-face interaction. So that way they can see that it's not just a one direction, it's multiple ways, and that they could include it without just being solely dependent on it. So yes, you want to reduce screen time, but you also want to reduce screen addiction stigma. It will help the students. It will help their well-being. So they'll be more inclined to share things with you. They'll be both academically and socially more inclined to learn better by implementing these strategies, these tips. When you work together with your students to create an environment where they actually feel welcome and where they feel open, and where you're actually using technology and teaching them the proper ways to use it and healthy ways to use it, it can be very beneficial to them. So I hope you enjoyed the video and our chat on addiction stigma and the impact on school life. I hope you like and subscribe. Visit my channel for more videos, and I'll see you soon.